Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Have goals, life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals, simple goals, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Don't confuse movement with progress. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress. Put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. Sometimes it's the best way to figure out where you're going. Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. 40 years ago, March 27th, 1975, I was flunking out of college. With no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. Every time I looked up, she was looking at me. I didn't know who she was. She said, "Somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil. I have a prophecy." March 27, 1975. She said, "Boy, you are gonna travel the world and speak to millions of people." Later that summer, while working as a counselor at the YMCA camp in Connecticut, we put on a talent show for the campers. And after the show, another counselor came up to me and asked, "Have you ever thought about acting? You're good at that." And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done and stick with God. In this text, tweet world that you've grown up in, remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there. And you only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots. And you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. Embrace it, because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought. I'm in the wings, I'm about to go on stage, but the guy in front of me, he's singing like Pavarotti. He's just, and he's just going on and on and on. And I'm just shrinking, I'm getting smaller and smaller. So I come out with my little sheet music. I hand it to the accompanist, and she looks at it and looks at me and looks out at the director and was like, so I start, I'm gonna sing. I'm like, it's just my imagination once again. So I assumed I didn't get the job. But the next part of the audition is the acting part of the audition. So I'm like, hey, okay, maybe I can't sing, but I know I can act. I didn't know about musical theater. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed and I prayed, but I continued to fail and fail. But it didn't matter, because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. Won the Tony Award. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. You've invested a lot in your education, and people have invested in you. And let me tell you, the world needs your talents. I just got back from South Africa. It's a beautiful country, but there are places there with terrible poverty that need help. And Africa is just the tip of the iceberg. The Middle East needs your help. Japan needs your help. Alabama needs your help. Tennessee needs your help. Louisiana needs your help. Philadelphia needs your help. The world needs a lot, and we need it from you. The most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because the gratification, the goodness that comes to you, the good feeling that I get from helping others, nothing's better than that. Not jewelry, not big house I have, not the cars, but it's the joy. That's where the joy is, in helping others. That's where the success is. So you gotta get out there, you gotta give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. Because remember this, you will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take it with you. And it's not how much you have, it's what you do with what you have. We all have different talents. Some of you are business majors, some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money, some of you have patience, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? Les Brown's a motivational speaker. He made an analogy about this. He says, imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, and now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. Keep working, Keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship.
How important is academic achievement in all of this?
Absolutely important. I mean, it's one thing to make money, it's another thing to know how to count it. I remember my mother used to take us, put us in the car on Sunday, and ride us around wealthy neighborhoods. And we would imagine which house was going to be ours. And that was a part of our education. They talk about role models, and you see, I don't know, me or LeBron James or somebody on TV bouncing a basketball. But your real role models are those people that are in your club, those people that are in your environment that affect you either positively or negatively. So it's up to all of us to reach out. There was a gentleman in the club, Charles White, who worked at the club, and he said, you know, young man, you know, with your smart, you can be anything you want to be. And I never forgot that. I walked out of that building, I said, wow, I never heard that before. I can be anything I want to be. Yeah, okay, I count, I'm important. Fundamentally, we are failing our kids. It is not their fault, it's the fault of the adults. It's one thing to sit around and talk about what the problems are, you know, but it's another thing to get off your behind and actually do something about it. Your biggest influence on your children will be in their first 5 years. Because once you went to kindergarten, once you started going to school, you were influenced by others. So it starts in the home.
In this mean world that we've created for our children, the least we can do is consider what we've done and think about the young people, the future, and individually, collectively do the best we can to try and turn this thing around. I pray that you put your slippers way under the bed tonight so that when you wake up in the morning, you have to get on your knees to reach them. And while you're down there, say thank you for grace. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for parents. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. I live my life. That's why I am, one of the reasons why I am today. True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back, pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.